Just a second, everybody. I'm almost here. Just gotta set up a couple things real fast, and I will be with you. Just 1 second. I'm probably not going to let the whole time go up. I'm probably going to as soon as I'm done sending these links and things out, I will most likely just okay. I'm here. What's up, everybody? Dylan, how you doing? Ex John, he says hi. Hey, how you doing, John? How you doing? Before we get started, let me make an announcement. I am starting school again. I'm starting school, so the videos I know I've been doing 2 per week, one on Monday and one on Thursday. So that might change up, like if I have an exam or a big test or I might need to study. I might not do one. Maybe I might skip a Monday or I might skip a Thursday. I also am going to start doing the filmed recorded videos, not just the lives, because ever since my last one where I did the white liberal, expose the lies of the white liberal, I haven't made another recorded video. So that's something that I am I'm gonna do, make a recorded video, start making more recorded videos. That's really it. I am still going to try my best to keep consistent with two videos per week thing, because we're right now we're at 250 subscribers. I still think we can honestly get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of. I think if we really try, we can get to, because the reason why I say we can get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, which is very doable, very, very doable, because with this channel, and something I noticed because I see the algorithm, with the channel is like every so often we get another subscriber and we get another one, and then there's this spike where it's like 15, 20 subscribers at one time. Then it kind of slows down, where it's maybe like 1 or 2 per week, and then bam, it's another, like, it's kind of random like that. If we can like amplify the spikes, so like when we get the spikes, if we can really like push that forward, if we can really push, and I've been trying to push my stuff too. I with the shirts, I've been trying to get more ads out for the shirts and stuff like that. So trying to well, I've been trying to push, and we have been doing it, because I remember not too long ago I was saying we just started to be at 100 subscribers. We were at 100 subscribers not too long ago. Now we're at 250 subscribers. I said in the beginning, it's going to be quicker to get to 250. I mean, to get to 300 than it was to get to 200. And it was easier to get from 200 than it was to get from 0 to 100. So these are good signs. It's good signs, and I appreciate you guys sharing. I appreciate you guys liking. If I could ask a small favor too, for the ones who are not subscribed, if you guys can make sure you subscribe. I have some people who watch and who aren't subscribed yet. If you guys can already subscribe and I would very much so appreciate that, and leave a comment on what you think. Brother Dylan says you already know. I've been promoting the merch, and shout out to you, Dylan, and shout out to everybody. My friend Trey, my cousin Omar, Shout out to everybody. Shout out to people who bought the merchandise, because I have had sales go up. So shout out to everybody who's bought the merchandise. Shout out to everybody who's also been sharing the advertisement of the merchandise on their own personal channel. I never asked anybody to do that. They just saw it and they just wanted to help out. And I greatly appreciate that. I really, really do. So shout out to everybody who's been doing that. That's really helpful. One thing I wanted to, some people don't understand why I'm so serious. In this video, I am going to be a little toned down. I'm going to be a little like more calm, because in my last few videos, I've been on like 10 the entire time. And even if I say, okay, I'm not going to be on 10, next thing you know, I'm beating at the desk and I'm yelling and screaming at the camera. I'm not trying to do that today. But largely because I'm tired. Excuse me. Hold on. But I'm going to be more relaxed today. But I want you guys to really understand, because the whole purpose of the channel is for teaching. Is for teaching and building critical thinking in black people so we can be on code. That's the whole purpose. This isn't like a history channel. This isn't like a news channel. I do make reports and commentary on history and on the news, and I try to teach those things because those things are vital for people to be on code. That's why I try to teach those things. The white supremacists are really amping up because of this. The 2020 U.S. Census data shows white population shrinking. Now, the white population is shrinking in America. Now, they have been known that white people are shrinking in America. They've been known this. Even Biden has addressed this. He's addressed this before. This is what they fear. This is why they're amping up the white supremacy. This is why it is important for me to do what I'm doing, for everybody to do what they're doing and being on code, because they're going to get on code like you've never seen before, because they're facing a danger that they've never seen before. They're facing the danger of the tables being turned, because for the first time in this country, well, not for like the first time since America, they are going to be the white people, non-Hispanic white people are going to be the minority, or not the minority, not the majority of the country. So what that means is they feel like that can make them lose power. So if they're not the majority, they don't have the numbers power anymore. So they can start being oppressed like how they've been oppressing everybody else. And that's something that they really fear. So that's why they're amping up the white supremacy. They're amping up the white supremacist policy. They're bringing in illegal immigrants, because a lot of, and I had this debate on TikTok, and I'm going to explain that to you guys in a second. A lot of the immigrants, Hispanics, they identify as white. No matter what they tell you, because when you say it, and Dr. Francis Cress Welsing said this, white supremacy plays dumb about racism, and a lot of black people play dumb with them. It doesn't matter, and everybody plays, and that's the code, because the code of white supremacy now, since it's so ingrained in America, is to be low key, is to be subliminal. So what they do now is they operate within it, but they don't say anything about it. They're not supposed to say anything. And when you bring it up, they gaslight and they deny it. A lot of Hispanics identify as white, and white people know this. They know they identify as white, and they lean more towards the white side. If they could pick a side, they would lean towards the white side. In prisons, you have Hispanic gangs teaming up with white gangs against black gangs. You don't have a black and brown coalition, and I'm not saying that happens all that, because gangs, racial gangs, are very, very segregated. But if they were to team up, the Hispanic gangs have teamed up with the white gangs against the black gangs. So there goes your black and brown coalition. There goes that. they're I'm sorry, I'm really thirsty, so it's kind of hard for me to speak. And there's something that I just remembered that I wanted to show you guys, that I'm about to show you guys in a brief split second. But they're ramping up white supremacy. They're ramping it up because they don't want black people to win. And let's just be real. And I know people might talk about people of color, yada yada. Black people are the only people who are really a threat to white supremacy. Let's be honest. Black people, we are the antithesis to white supremacy. Black empowerment is the antithesis to white supremacy. So black people are the only people who white supremacy targets like that. Everybody else, they might get the crosshairs, they might get shot in the crosshairs, but white supremacy doesn't target Hispanics. And I need you guys to understand this. They don't. I'm trying to see something. What is? Oh gosh. I'm trying. Because I want to find this, because this is very interesting. A sister sent this to me on Twitter. If I can find it. If I can find it. I'm sorry, y'all. I just thought when I brought this subject up, I just thought to send this to you, to show you guys. But this happened a few days ago. Hopefully I can find it. Hopefully I can find it. Okay. Let's see. If I can't find it, I'll just show it to you guys later on in the week. If I can't find it. Seems like I can't find it. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to show it to you guys, but I'll tell you guys. Guys don't really need to see. There was a party that went on. It was a Hispanic. It was like a Hispanic owned party or something, and they were dancing in a whole. It was a club. It was in a club, and a whole bunch of black people were showing up in the club. But the club was Hispanic owned. So what the Hispanic did, now the owner's girlfriend was there, and she texted the owner. She was all like, "Hey, there's a lot of people we don't want here." And when they said people we don't want here, that's black people. It was a whole bunch of black people showing up at the party. And they were partying at the club or whatever. So the owner texted the girlfriend. The owner was like, "Okay, well, play a whole bunch of Hispanic music. Don't play any hip hop or nothing. Play a bunch of Hispanic music, and that can kind of run the black people out." That's exactly what they were planning on doing. And to be honest, Hispanics do this a lot. If you guys, I don't know if you guys have ever been to a function, or if you ever been to a party or something where the DJ is Hispanic, what they'll do is they'll play like hip hop music or a mix, and then when they want black people to leave, they'll play all Hispanic music. It'll be just Hispanic music, Mexican music, straight up Mexican music. And black people who don't really listen to Mexican music, because who does? But black people who don't really listen to Mexican music and don't understand what it is, they'll be like, "Okay, let me see. It's not that one. I'm getting close. I'm getting close to actually showing you guys." But black people who don't really listen to that music, they would leave. They would leave the party because, like, okay, well, this isn't the music we like anyway. Hispanics do this all the time because they don't see themselves as black people. They don't want to team up with black people. They don't want to be around black people like they make you think they do. And white people know this. This is why white people like Joe Biden, and Joe Biden is afraid that white people are becoming the minority. He said it out his own mouth. So Joe Biden brings a bunch of illegal immigrants who identify as white. This is very important for us to realize this. It is very important. This is why this channel is important. This is why black empowerment is important, okay? These Hispanics are not our friends. They are not the friends of black people. You might think that they're not, okay, well, they're not white and they are oppressed to some degree, so they should align themselves with us because we're oppressed and they're oppressed. So we would have more in common than they have with white people. So it would only make sense for them to be on our side. You would think that, but that's not how they go, because they don't really want to defeat white supremacy. They tell you that, but they don't really want that. They want to be second place. They're fighting all these other immigrant groups collectively, not saying every single last one, because I know somebody's going to message me and say that, but collectively, they're all fighting for second place. They're not fighting to beat anything. Black people are the only people who are fighting, specifically foundational Black Americans, but we're the only ones who are fighting to end white supremacy, not to be under its wing as second place, as this right-hand man. Okay? It is very important for us to realize this. Now, something else I wanted to show you guys, and I got to be very, very careful when I talk about this subject right here. This is going to be an interesting subject to discuss. Let's see. All right, here we go. Let me get this off the screen real fast. Bam. And bam. So, Iowa judge orders Black man to get, you're reading it, as part of his sentence. Let's look at the video. I'm gonna actually turn on
because I heard that I had the mask on because I heard that the COVID numbers was going back up again.
21-year-old Brandon Rutherford says he wore his face mask to court Wednesday. As he awaited sentencing for a drug-related crime, Rutherford says Hamilton County Judge Christopher Wagner asked him questions.
He asked me, was I vaccinated? I told him no. And he asked me, do I plan on getting vaccinated? I told him no.
Rutherford says that's when Judge Wagner ordered him to get a COVID vaccine shot within 2 months as a condition of Rutherford's community control, which is often called probation.
I don't plan on getting it. I don't want it. So for him to tell me that I have to get it in order for me to not violate my probation is crazy, because I'm just trying to do what I can to get off this as quickly as possible, like finding a job and everything else. But that little thing can set me back.
Rutherford's attorney, Carl Lewis, stood next to Rutherford during sentencing.
I was taken aback because again, when you hear, whoa, I don't think the judges within their powers to do that.
Lewis told the I-Team this is the first time he's heard of a Hamilton County judge ordering someone to get the COVID vaccine. On Rutherford's court papers, there is a question mark next to the judge's order to get vaccinated.
If he truly believes that he's within this authority and power to order the individual to get a vaccine, then we'll have a legal issue to address.
The I-Team sent the judge's staff an email and left 2 phone messages, but they did not respond.
It's not like I'm out here getting in any more trouble or anything like that, but because I won't take a shot, they can send me to jail. I don't agree with it.
Craig Cheatham, WCPO 9, I-Team.
Now, I said in some videos before, I said eventually they'll stop the bragging, because not the bragging, the bribing, because it was this thing where they were bribing everybody. If you get the needle, then we'll give you money. What they were literally paying, we'll give you money, we'll give you this, you get free haircuts, you get free weed, you get free meals, you get this, you get all these perks for getting the needle. And I said eventually, because a whole bunch of Black people are smart enough not to go through with that. Black people are smart enough not to go through with that. They're like, we have 110 reasons not to trust the government. Not just the Tuskegee, but we have a whole bunch of reasons. Now, I'm not saying, for the sake of YouTube, I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm just explaining why people believe that we shouldn't. There's more than enough reason, despite the Tuskegee, and I've said it before, Tuskegee is enough. If Tuskegee alone happened, nothing else, that would be enough. But we have a whole bunch of other health disparities and anti-Black health issues that has happened to us in the past that they don't want to address. All of that on top of just this whole needle situation being suspicious anyway, regardless. Listen, let me tell you something, guys. Let me explain something to you guys. Do you all understand that you can't sue the pharmaceutical company at all if you take it? You understand that, right? Now, I'm not telling you not to. For the sake of YouTube, taking this down, don't say this isn't a conspiracy. This is something in the paper. They have you sign that. You acknowledge the fact that you cannot sue. So no matter what happens, not that the needle is even COVID proof anyway, because you have people who take the needle and they still get it. Okay. So it's not COVID proof. And no matter what side effects, because let's not act like this thing still hasn't just came out. This thing is the sickness, the global sickness that is going on. It's still relatively new. It just came out last year. This is not like it's been a long time for y'all to really study it. Then there's new versions and variants and all that stuff about it that you guys didn't know about. So you guys don't really know about it like you guys say you do, or you do and you're not acting like you know about it. Either way. But this needle just pops up and it's supposed to be 100% safe. No long-term testing. No long-term testing at all. All other medications have long-term testing except this one. And no matter what happens, so if you take it and your heart explodes in your chest and they can trace it directly back to this needle, you can't sue. Do you understand that? No matter what happens, if you have any type of, because people have already had blood clots and they've confessed this, other countries are banning it because of health issues. So no matter what happens, you can directly tie it back to it. And they'd be like, well, that's your responsibility. You took it. We have nothing to do with that. Now it's to a point where they are literally punishing. The judge has no authority to say if you don't take it, you're going to jail. How is that the judge's decision? That shouldn't be a part of his probation at all. He's not even trying to get people sick. He's wearing a mask in the courtroom. He's saying, and specifically, you don't hear stuff like this about white people. You don't hear judges saying stuff like this to white people. They say it to a black man. That if you don't take it, we'll extend your sentence, or you're going back to jail. How can you send somebody back to taking it? Should be your right. So you have a right to do it and you have a right not to. It's not, you can't legally punish somebody for taking it, for getting it, or not getting it. I said before, it will come to a point where they will start punishing people. They will start punishing people for not taking it. And who do you think they're going to punish? Let's just be real. Let's just be real. What group of people do you honestly think that they're going to be punishing for not taking the needle? And once again, I'm not saying it should be a thing where you should take it or shouldn't take it for the sake of YouTube. I'm just saying, take into consideration all of the variables. And let's say for the sake of the argument, it was perfectly fine, perfectly safe, long-term testing, bulletproof, right? Let's say that. That's still not the judge's right to say if you don't take it, you're going to we're going to send you back to jail, as if he committed a crime. It's not a crime to take it or not to take it. Okay? You don't see people doing that with the flu shot. You don't see people doing that with the flu shot. You can't say that. You can't say that. That the judge is totally wrong for that. And of course he would do it to a black man. You don't see nobody else, despite the oppression that they say they're facing. You don't see them facing oppression like that. You don't see that happening to them. Protect yourself. And I am proud of this brother, even despite the fact that he's facing blatant anti-black racism. He's still standing on his thing. He's like, hey, I'm not taking it. I don't want it. And that's his decision. And he's standing on that. He's standing strong. And family, we need to do that. Okay, don't let anybody pressure you. He's pressuring with jail time. That's completely ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. Okay. Now, I want to talk. I want to get to the main topic, right? Let me get to the main topic because normally I save that for last. But I'm gonna get to the main topic now. I'm gonna get to it now because we're about like 20 something minutes, like halfway, about 25, about halfway. So that's fine. So Lizzo is being called a mammy. Lizzo, the singer Lizzo, is being called a mammy by black people. Black people, their own code black people are calling Lizzo a mammy. And she's getting a lot of backlash. She came out with a song with Cardi B called Rumors. And in her song, and I listened to the whole song and saw the video. In the song, it wasn't nothing really crazy, especially considering how music videos are. So it wasn't. Some of the things she did say, there were some things she did say. She said something like, y'all got upset when I showed you my ass before. And or my ass was hanging out before. She's referring to the time she went to a Lakers game and she had a dress or was it pants or something, and she had the whole butt cut out. Like the dress was perfectly normal, and then right below the butt was cut out and you could see her bare butt. I'm not going to show it to you guys, but some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, you can look it up. But I'm not going to show it to you guys. But that's what she was referring to. And then she goes on to say, just wait till you see what I do when they let me out the house. Like when the COVID and quarantine is over, is what she was referring to. Then she goes, and I guess for advertisement, let me see. She goes to a public park and she's not dressed very appropriately. She's holding her phone up, she's doing her thing, I guess singing along to the song, and she starts twerking. And as she's twerking, I'm gonna show you, this is just a screenshot, I'm not gonna show you the video. This is what she was wearing. And as she starts twerking, her dress starts to come up. It comes up, and you literally see her panties as she's. Now this is a child's park. You can even see in the background. You can see there's like swings, or I think that's swings or some type of something like that, some item for kids to play on in the park. So she's doing that in the park in front of kids, and people are like, okay, what do you do? All this degenerate behavior. Now, people feel like, okay, Lizzo is being dragged. Lizzo is being dragged. Now, this is some of the this is what she had to say. I'm gonna show you this video of what she had to say about it. Let me put this up. This is what she had to say.
Everyone that's trying to say that Lizzo is acting like a mammy is completely wrong, and you're colorist and fat phobic.
This is exactly why I started off the song with "They don't know I do it for the culture." These people who are saying this are probably the same people who are mad when I'm being hypersexual. And the mammy trope is actually desexualized. So it can't both be true. Make it make sense. I really think people are just mad to see a fat black woman that makes pop music and is happy. Y'all are so upset that I'm happy. But this rhetoric doesn't even bother me because Aretha Franklin was criticized by the black church when she came out with Respect. Whitney Houston was booed at the Soul Train Awards for being too white. Beyonce received criticism early in her career. So you know what? The type of music that I make, I know that I'm making it to be great. I'm making it to touch the world, and I don't trip on any of these criticisms because I know that the only person that I'm serving is myself. I'm on my way to make my dreams come true. I hope you are too.
Everyone that's trying to say.
Okay. Let me not snap off. Let me not go off. Okay. Let me explain what the issue is. First off, the music industry in general, black people do not want. It is ran by white folks. They like to see degeneracy. They like to see that stuff. When people say, "Oh, well, why are you going off on Lil Nas X?" Personally, it's not about him personally. I need you guys to understand when I'm talking about artists, it's not necessarily all about them personally. It's about the fact that the music label wants the artist to be a certain way. So the music label can tell the artist, okay, this is what you do, this is the song you put out, this is what you can wear, this is all of this stuff. They really don't have much of any control over themselves when they sign those types of contracts. This is about what the industry does. These are industry plants they specifically have for black people to promote degeneracy. Okay? To promote degenerate sexual behavior, to promote violence, hyper violence, drug abuse. They promote all of these bad things, negative things in the black community that white industry does. You do not see white artists doing this in the white community. Even though they now the white people listen to black music, they listen to black people doing that, rapping about it or singing about it. They don't have, and the music artists, the labels, they have white artists too. They don't have white people doing that. White people don't be doing that. They have white people talking, doing the thing about love or whatever. Not to say all black music is bad, but I need you guys to understand this is not about Lizzo in and of herself, or any Cardi B in and of herself, or Lil Nas X in and of himself. This is about the industry, the music industry, controlling these black artists and making these black artists push out a very degenerate music for the black youth. Okay, and music stays in the mind. This how many times have we had songs that we've listened to just in the car, in the radio, or at the grocery store, and there's music playing, and now we got the song stuck in our head. Music can stay in the mind, and music can be subconscious. These are things that white people, the white music label, knows, and they push those things out. So when we're pushing back against the messages that the music label is pushing towards the black community, it's not necessarily an attack on the artist in and of herself or himself. This is about the message that is being pushed. That's the bigger picture. That is the bigger picture in this situation. Now let me address what Lizzo said. Lizzo said, okay, if you're having something against me, you're colorist and fat phobic. Then she goes on to say, okay, this is really about me being fat. This is about me being fat. You just don't want to see a fat woman happy. Pretty much, she's only getting criticism because she's fat. That's the only thing. That's the only reason that she's getting any sort of criticism. Now, on that, I'm gonna address Twitter too, because Twitter has been. I'm gonna see a few of this. This is live on Twitter right now, because Lizzo Mammy was trending. Some people are saying, I wonder if the person who no, okay, that's not the one I was looking for. Where's the one I was looking for? Okay, look. The way some were trying to claim that Lizzo is a mammy shows that they A, haven't done a reading, and B, they are throwing shade at Lizzo simply because she is a fat black woman who dares to own all of herself unapologetically. Okay. It's another one. This is where the Mammy debate comes from. This is where the Mammy debate comes from. I don't get the dumping on Lizzo. Like, she is just having fun. Make music and don't start any beefs. I guess it really does bother others when someone is comfortable with themselves. Just irritates people who can't face themselves in the mirror. Listen, okay. And more goes on like this. Right? Look at this one. Good morning to everybody except those who call Lizzo a MFing mammy. Like, okay. Because now this is a reply to something else. What exactly did Lizzo do to any of y'all? Okay. And then this goes, we value women by two criteria: attractiveness and their ability to give. Being fat, being fat and black, as long as it's seen as an ant. I can't really see that. There's a light beaming in my eye. There's like literally a light beaming in my eye. I think this is antithetical to being beautiful. This antithetical to being beautiful. Lizzo not only dares to be gorgeous, but she knows, all cap knows it, and proclaims it, and passes people off. Pisses, I guess that meant pisses. She spelled that wrong. Pisses people off because of racist, fat phobic beauty standards get regarded to the mammy role. One that decenters the self in favor of giving to others. The only way people know to value us. But Lizzo centers herself with pride and glamour and spectacle. Okay. Let me turn. Oh my god. Let me turn that down. I'm gonna have to move this light when I start reading stuff. Boy, that light does something to me. I kind of trying to get my eyes together right here. Listen. Okay, let's really break this down. Let's define what a man. Let me actually look up. I'm gonna show you guys the definition of a mammy. So you can't say I'm just saying it for myself. I'm saying it from. This is just my opinion. No, this is not just my opinion. Okay. This is the definition of a mammy right here. Now, okay, put it right here. One says mother. Now, the offensive, former in the southern U.S., a black nursemaid or nanny in charge of white children. So, if you guys would see those old cartoons and they would have this big fat black woman and she would be raising the white kids. Like, come on, Chester, we gotta come in the house. It's time for dinner. She's cooking all the food, cleaning all the house. The nanny, the maid, that would be the mammy. They would call that's the mammy. Why Lizzo is being called a mammy. Okay, to an extent, is not accurate towards that definition. But the mammy is somebody who pretty much a black woman, and nowadays the term is a black person, a black woman, doesn't have to be fat, who promotes white supremacy. Not necessarily saying she's doing it consciously, but she is doing it subconsciously, whether she knows it or not. She's promoting white supremacy with the images that she's putting out, okay? Because it's not that she's just fat. That's, first off, being fat, and this isn't to hate on fat people. This is really not. But let's understand health is very important here. Health is important. And Lizzo wasn't too long ago. Lizzo was trying to lose a lot of weight. I think Lizzo did lose a lot of weight. Now, I hope she continues to do so. I don't hate Lizzo. I think Lizzo is actually talented. And Lizzo, if she loses weight, Lizzo could be a very attractive woman. And she's young too. She's young, and because being overweight like that stuff builds up. That stuff hurts your body. That hurts your organs and your insides. It's not just about what you look like and you being attractive. And black people, and especially in the black community, we have too much of a high rate of obesity. We shouldn't be having that. We should not be having that. Now, people want to make the somewhat justifiable, somewhat not excuse that we have food deserts. We don't really have the option to eat healthy because healthier foods cost more and black people are the poorest group in the country. So we really don't have the money to go buy whole grain, organic peanut butter that would cost $7 more than a processed peanut butter. We don't have that. So to an extent, that's true. To an extent, you can still try your best to be healthy as possible. This isn't to shame any fat people. It's really not. This is to say your health is important. Not just because of right now, because it might not affect you when you're young, but how many old black people do we know who are in the hospital like every other week, who got to take a whole damn counter full of medication every day, who can't get up because their back hurts, or their knees, or they got diabetes. How many black people do we know have these issues? This is not a joke. We had black people in the days of slavery, chattel slavery, and Jim Crow. There were black people living up to 100 years old, and now we have black people getting diabetes in their late 30s and 40s. Okay, health is very important. This isn't to say all fat people aren't unattractive or they're worth less than people who are in shape. I wish the best for them. I hope that they get healthy. It's not about you being unattractive. That should be the least of the concerns. Your health, the longevity of your life, and the quality of life that you will live is more important than whether people find you attractive because of you being fat or skinny. That's more important. So when people say, "Oh, you're being fat phobic," we really need to cancel that term because we need to cancel that term because for you to say something is phobic, first off, people really don't understand what the term phobic means. For you to say something that is phobic means that you're afraid of it. Oh, you're just afraid, nowadays they're saying you have unnatural hate for it. People don't have unnatural hate for fat people. It is just the fact that it is being promoted. I could see if she was just, overweight and she was singing and just doing her thing normally, but she's doing this and then she's promoting other things along with it. And then she deflects like, okay, you say something about me having my ass hanging out during a Lakers game. You're only saying something because you're colorist and you're fat phobic. First of all, I don't know why she said that likes colors. Lizzo is not really that dark. I mean, let's look at this picture again. She is not that dark. She is not colorist. Okay? We need to stop the deflection thing. First off, she's not that dark. The colorist comment, don't know why that came out of her mouth. And it's not about you being fat. It's about you promoting degeneracy. Okay, let me read some of the comments. Jason says, she is a mammy, but she's not the only one. Remember Tiffany Haddish and the fried chicken on the red carpet? There's a wild league of mammies. Yes, Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish is not fat. Tiffany Haddish is the mammy too. You don't have to be fat necessarily to be a mammy. The concept of being a mammy is being somebody who follows along with white supremacy. That's pretty much the gist of it. Someone who serves under white supremacy. So for you to get there and you promote degeneracy, you making black people look like a bunch of savages or degenerates, which is what a lot of these famous celebrities and artists do, eating fried chicken on the red carpet. Really? You don't see Asians eating noodles on the red. You don't see the promoting of the stereotypes. You don't see that. Oh, the only promotion, and if they do, they do it only in a sort of way that's like a parody. They do it in like a parody. But you see black celebrities, when you're supposed to be classy, you're promoting a stereotype. Like on the red carpet, we had a whole bunch of black celebrities dressing like literally like clowns, or naked. You're either a clown or you're super sexual and naked. These stereotypes are very harmful to black society. Damn, that doesn't look good on her. No, it doesn't. And if you say anything, that's not you being fat phobic or whatever. Neely Filler said the dominant society will create this madness and call it culture, our culture, the same way she did. Exactly. All this super sexual, all this obesity. Black people used to be the most healthy people. This obesity, this super unhealthy blacks, this is a relatively new thing. This is not our history. This is not our culture to be unhealthy. Our culture is actually to be the most healthy people. We were the ones who were coming up with the medicines and the medications. Okay? This isn't to hate on, but that's not our culture. And these celebrities, because of the white music artists who make these celebrities promote this stuff, they promote it as if that's our culture. That's not our culture. And when we push back against it, oh, you're fat phobic. You hate fat people. No, we're not fat phobic. And if we were, okay, so are you saying that she should be overweight? She's over 300 pounds. Last time I checked, she's like 308 pounds. This isn't to shame fat people. You guys, I want you guys to understand this. This is about you getting better for yourself. That is a super unhealthy weight for anybody, especially a woman. Okay? Because men have more muscle mass, so that's not muscle. That's hundreds of pounds of fat. That's not health. That is not healthy. So when you say, okay, well, you kind of too big to be wearing, oh, you fat phobic. No, you're trying to act like you're not fat. You're trying to live in this denial as if you're not super overweight. You need to recognize this. And she did recognize it. I don't know what happened. But now she's sitting up there twerking at a park. Her damn underwear is showing. And people like, hey, why are you promoting this degeneracy? Why are you promoting this? Oh, you just hate me because I'm fat and you don't want to see a fat black woman be happy. What? All this deflection gotta stop, Lizzo. I don't hate Lizzo. I think Lizzo is talented. I wish the best for her, but this is not the right way to go about it. This is not the right way to go about it. Something else, man. I got like 3 water bottles all empty right here, man. I drink a lot of water. Speaking of, drink a lot of water, folks. Drink a lot of water, family. Please. Speaking of which, let's see. If we can get the likes up, I would appreciate that greatly. Hopefully we can get the likes up. Let me see something else. Something else I wanted to show you guys. There was a while, I don't know if this wilding out, I think it's come back after the Nick Cannon controversy. So Wildin' Out has made a return, and I guess they have some new people on Wildin' Out. And there was this skit. I don't know what the skit was. I don't know what she was trying to do. But there was this woman named Jessie Woo. And she made a skit or a joke about Whitney Houston that a lot of people did not find funny. I'm going to play it for you guys right now. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Okay, there we go. Take it all the way back.
You have reached my line, but unfortunately, I do not have the time. And I'm dead.
Now, yeah. So that's what she said. And at first, when I heard it, I'm like, damn, did she really just say that like that? Did she really just say that like that? And I'm thinking to myself, at first off, no matter how you look at it, some people say, oh, well, that was kind of funny. Dark humor. People do have dark humor. That's not okay. Let me explain something to you guys, to the people who thought that was funny or thought that was dark humor. Let me explain to you guys a little bit about jokes in and of itself. All jokes are like art. Some people find certain jokes funny. Some people don't find jokes funny. Some people will find a joke funny from a certain person, but won't find it funny from another person. If you see a comedian, there are jokes like Kevin Hart. There are jokes that Kevin Hart would tell that wouldn't really be funny if Dave Chappelle said that. And if Dave Chappelle said something, it would be a little weird if you saw Chris Rock say like, because they have their own personalities. and through their personalities, they tell jokes. People know their personalities, so if they said something, that it would be funny. So all humor doesn't work for all people. Plus, you have to know who you're telling the joke to. Okay? All jokes aren't fun. Like, there's some jokes I can joke around my siblings that I would never joke around my grandma. Now, I can joke around with my grandma and my older people in my family, but I wouldn't tell them certain jokes that you would tell your siblings or your cousins or people around your age. Everybody knows this, because there are certain things that the older people in your family won't find funny that the younger people in your family will find funny. Dark humor is like that too. Dark humor is like this niche taste. It's a very acquired taste. All dark humor, everybody doesn't appreciate dark humor. And then sometimes I like dark humor if it comes from certain people though. I don't like just all dark humor. If it's from a certain person, then they can like dark humor. But what you can't do, and this goes to the people who thought that, okay, this was just dark humor. What you can't do is if nobody knows you, and a part of dark humor is for people to know that is your sense of humor. Because what makes it dark is the fact that it's in this realm of what people generally know not to joke about. Like when people talk about like murder and stuff like that, suicide, that's in the realm where people know, okay, that's kind of like a touchy subject, so you can't really joke about that. Or disability, that's a touchy subject, that's within the dark realm. You don't really want to joke about that. Dark humor is kind of like joking within that. You have to be clever when you're telling dark humor, so it doesn't come off as you're trying to diss somebody. There's a difference between dissing somebody or being disrespectful and telling a dark humor joke. Dark humor jokes are supposed to be clever. It's supposed to be a joke within the realm of things that you're really kind of not sensitive topics that aren't joked about. That's what dark humor is. And while and out, you don't really see dark humor that much, to be honest. You see a bunch of people like dissing each other, people talking about celebrities or something going on, but you don't really see dark humor. That's really not something that you see in Wild 'N Out. But that's the difference between being dark humor and being disrespectful, or throwing a diss or mocking somebody, because there's a line. It's not very thick. It's a kind of thin line. That's why only certain people can tell dark humor jokes to certain people, because if they don't have that rapport, and this for education, if they don't have that rapport, it will seem like you're mocking somebody. If I don't know you and you tell me a dark humor joke and I don't know that's how you joke, or me and you don't have that relationship, I would say like, damn, excuse me, that's the energy I would have if we don't have that rapport. If somebody else, if my brother said the same joke and me and him have that relationship where we exchange dark humor jokes, I would find the same joke that you told that I got offended by, I would find that from him funny. So that's the thing with dark humor. That joke she told was not clever at all. It was very tasteless and unfunny. There was no build up or anything. It's not within the realm of things you're not supposed to joke about. It was just, you were mocking somebody who is dead. That is really what it is. Which is not a dark humor joke. That's just disrespectful. And that's Whitney Houston too. That's a beloved person. It's not, I can see if you were doing that to like Adolf Hitler or something, but this is Whitney Houston. And you just got up there and was like, I'm dead. And thinking that was going to get the crowd to love you or something. That's not cool. What I first saw when I saw her, I'm like, okay, maybe she's new, because I've never seen her before. Her name is Jessie Woo. I've never heard of her before. So I'm like, okay, maybe she's new to the show. And she's maybe trying to stand out. So she was like, okay, when I get out there, I'm going to just say something crazy and the crowd's going to go wild. That's what I'm thinking. With dark humor, that's not what you want to do with dark humor. You don't want to just say anything and think, okay, people are going to love it because it's dark. It's something people wouldn't say. Don't do that. Okay, because that joke was Dare I call it a joke? It was disrespectful and was in very bad taste. Now, what made me the most upset about that? What made me the most upset about that is her response, because she got a lot of criticism for that. Her response to it. Let me see. Right here.
Consider myself a comedian because I feel like comedians are people who know how to do stand-up, and they know, like, that's been their craft for years and years and years. But people have called me a comedian because I get on here and I do things that make people laugh. Going back to Wild 'N Out, like, when I think about the most viral clips, or, you know, they are of a man, you know, pushing the boundaries and being disrespectful towards women, but in a comedic way. We've seen men snatch women's hair, you know what I mean? Like, snatch the wigs off their heads. And, like, again, it's okay because it's on a comedic platform. Whenever you see a girl getting dragged from Wild 'N Out, it's for doing the same shit, but she gets dragged. If a guy did that, would that be the same reaction? And the answer is no. I don't consider myself a comedian because I feel like comedians are people who know how to do stand-up.
Okay, let me pause this. And she doubled down. She doubled down. I'm gonna show a tweet. If I can find it. Okay. Here's this tweet. I'm going to show it to you guys. Let me get this off the screen real fast. Now, I'm going to read it to you guys. Okay. Male comedians and folks on Twitter make jokes about Whitney's battle with drugs still to this day. But me impersonating her during my voicemail game, I guess that the voicemail game, I guess that was the game where she did that voicemail game by singing her song and saying I'm dead. A great excuse why she cannot come to the phone. Okay. I guess that was the game. A great excuse why she can't come to the phone, but I went too far. Right? Okay. Then let me show you another tweet that she said. Then she says, let me see. Wish I would have had it pulled up. I thought she would have said more in the actual video. Then she says this. Take this off. Bam. Here we go. The show is called Wild 'N Out for a reason. And still I was able to say some wild shit without picking low-hanging fruit like her drug history, like her history with drugs, unlike the main comedians who have for decades. I pushed the envelope and I am proud of me. Now, this is where I get upset because I was going to give the pass of ignorancy. I was going to give you the pass that maybe you're just this, because she is like this D-list. I was going to say C-list. She's really like a D-list celebrity, D-list comedian. She considers herself a comedian. She is a self-proclaimed comedian. Wild 'N Out needs to definitely vet who they let on the show. A self-proclaimed comedian told this joke that people found disrespectful. Now, when she said, oh, they make jokes about Whitney Houston. Oh, if a man did it. Now here's the issue I have with you dodging accountability and you trying to deflect on the fact that, I'm only getting this backlash because I'm a woman. Notice the thing that Lizzo did the same thing. She does crazy, degenerate stuff. And then when people say, hey, Lizzo, that's not cool. You're like, well, I'm fat. Is that the only reason you hate a fat black woman? What? That's not the issue. It's the fact that you shouldn't be twerking with your ass hanging out at a park where kids are playing. That's the problem. The problem with her is not the fact that she's a woman and you can't tell dark humor jokes. The joke was disrespectful. You're mocking somebody who died. And two, she is also Haitian. And I feel like that's important. Why is that important? Because Whitney Houston is a foundational Black American music icon. And she got on stage and completely disrespected her. Okay? That was disrespectful. She's talking about, the male celebrities, the male comedians, when she can't pull up a single incident of a male celebrity or a male comedian, I mean, making a joke that was equivalent to her joke. If that was a male comedian, they would have gotten dragged the same way, because this is disrespectful. It has nothing to do with you being a woman, and so you can't joke about this. That's not how comedy goes. That's not how it went. There's been girls on Wild 'N Out for years and years and who tell jokes. It's not that we don't like women. That's not the issue. The issue is what you said was disrespectful. Now, she's from Haiti, right? If we was to make a joke, because she said she's proud of pushing the envelope. She's proud of pushing the envelope, and the only reason people have any flack for her is the fact that she's a woman, and women can't make the same jokes men can make. So, if we were to make a joke, because Haiti just went through another earthquake, which is probably orchestrated, because they can do that now with weather changing machines. That's probably very orchestrated, right? Hold on. Oh. My sister's texting me. Damn. Sorry, my sister was texting me. It probably was orchestrated. It was probably planned, because they can change the weather. They can change stuff. They can create things to make earthquakes. They can do that. That's not a conspiracy. And Haiti's the only one in that island to get an earthquake. But I don't want to talk about that too much. Not right now, because, you know, YouTube be hating on me. If we were to make a joke about that, if we were to make a joke about the condition that people are living in Haiti, if we were to make a joke about the fact that the Haitian president just died, was just assassinated, how do you guys let people come in your country and assassinate your president? If we were to make a joke about that, that would be off limits. See, this is the issue. This is the issue that foundational Black Americans have with non-foundational Black Americans. Y'all act like y'all can come here and say everything in this fair game, but the second we say something, oh, okay, that's something not to joke about. Because if we was to joke about the stuff that's going on in Haiti right now, nobody would say, okay, that's dark humor, that's something cool. But you're coming over here and you're going to joke about a foundational Black American icon, and it's not even a funny joke. You just mock somebody's death. And you're not even mature enough or adult enough, woman enough, respectful enough to apologize. If she would have got here and said, you know, I thought it was going to be funny. I didn't really think about it at the time. I just wanted to say something that was really going to shock the crowd. So I apologize. I didn't mean to be disrespectful. Then I wouldn't have even brought her up. I would have said, okay, she recognized her mistake. It was a bad joke. It was disrespectful, but she recognized her mistake. So I can let that pass. If she recognized that that was a bad joke, but she doubled down on it. She said, you know what? It was funny. And y'all have the issue because y'all are men and men can make jokes about it. She can't bring up an incident where a man has made a joke like that and it been positively received. Because male comedians, they get dragged for certain things that they say all the time too. I just brought up Kevin Hart not too long ago. How Kevin Hart was being dragged when he was about to host the Oscars for some tweets he made 8 years prior about his son playing with a damn dollhouse. So male comedians get dragged a lot too. She's not getting dragged because she's a female comedian, self-proclaimed comedian that nobody really knows. She's getting dragged because she is a disrespectful Haitian and she doesn't know when to apologize. She doesn't know the line of disrespect. I think there's a little bit more of the video left. Let me see if there's a little bit more. Let me see.
And they know, like, that's been their craft for years and years and years. But people have called me a comedian because
Okay. Okay. The video goes on, but it replays. That's why I said that. Okay. That's the issue. And the deflecting is the deflecting is the problem. Because if she would have stood on it, like, you know what? I think it's funny. I think y'all tripping. I think it was funny. That would have been more respectful than you trying to deflect and say, well, actually, the black men, they do it though, but the black men, you only hating on me because I'm a black woman. I'm a black woman. That's the only reason I can't tell this joke. No, we're not gonna do that. This disrespect, and this is why I have to address this, because this disrespect is what keeps the diaspora war going on. It's what's been keeping the foundational Black Americans have finally just started to address it now. That this little disrespectful stuff, had we made a joke about what Haiti is going through, or the joke about Haiti, you would have a whole bunch, the whole Haitian community that would be dragging. Michael B. Jordan tried to make Dravet rum a drink and name it after some Trinidadian. Dravet is like a Trinidadian holiday or something, or festival, and a whole bunch of Black Caribbeans were like, oh, that's cultural appropriation, oh, that's disrespectful, how dare you do this, how dare you do this. So they, on top of what they find is disrespectful, anything that they find is disrespectful, they gather up in the community, they start dragging the Black American that they feel are disrespecting them, but they come over here and get on Wildin' Out because that was due to Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon was the one who created Wildin' Out. Due to a foundational Black American, you're getting on here and you're mocking the death of another foundational Black American. See, this disrespect got to stop. We got to call this stuff out. And this deflecting. If that was a theme for today's episode, we would talk about deflecting. Because all this, oh, you don't like me because I'm fat, you don't like me because I'm a woman, that's deflecting. We got to stop that. Let me read some of the comments before I get off. Let me see. Yeah, he said, yeah, Jay, did you see the Hispanic worker who put a noose up in front of the Black coworker for a joke? Yeah, I did see about that. I did see, it was on Instagram. Yeah, I saw something about that. Hispanics, let me tell you about the debate I had with TikTok. Okay? I was talking about the fact that Black people have no friends. And we don't. We have none at all. Collectively, we don't. There might be an individual or two who wants to see the betterment of Black people truly. Most of them do not. Even the ones that say they do, even the ones at the protest, do not. Because they're only doing that because they know they can come in and grab something. Once the benefit comes over, they're going to reach over you and they're going to take the benefits and the resources. They know this. They've done this over and over again. Okay? They know that they don't really care about Black people. Hispanics are very anti-Black. And I said that. They were all like, well, this one Hispanic, he was like, well, slaves, they escaped from slavery and they went to Mexico. Which was true. Not all of them went to Canada. Some of them went down south to Mexico. I'm like, okay, that is true. Historically, let's look at this from a historical standpoint. President Vicente Guerrero was a Black Mexican, the first Black Mexican in Mexico, the first Black president in Mexico, and he abolished slavery in Mexico. They were trying to get rid of it because of the Spanish, because the Spanish had Mexico enslaved too. Once they fought off and beat the Spanish, Vicente Guerrero, he was the president of Mexico, and he abolished slavery for all people, the Black Hispanics and the white Hispanics. Slavery was ended. Then Black slaves got to come over and seek refuge in Mexico from America. So they was all like, oh, he wasn't Black. He was half Black and half Mexican. Mexican is not a race. It's not. It's not a race. That's a nationality. That's like I'm saying I'm half American. That doesn't make any sense. So they all like, oh. So then they started going off, monkeys are always trying to be like Mexicans. Whoa, okay. Then a whole bunch of these anti-Black they were just calling me niggers in the comments. They were just calling me niggers, monkeys, all that stuff. They see that, and I said, because you guys identify yourself as the Spanish, and Spanish people are white. Despite what people tell you, they're white people. And a whole bunch of these Hispanics see themselves as Spaniards 2.0. They're the new Spaniards according to them. That's how they identify. They are so close, they will tell you, if you do not know Spanish, that you are not a true Mexican. They will tell you if you don't know Spanish, you're not a true Mexican. Even though Spanish was the language that they were colonized and bred to teach and bred to. They love their Spanish history. They love them white folks. That's why they want to be white folks. You look at most Hispanics' driver's license, the ones that do have driver's license, you look at their driver's license, you'll see white on there. They identify with white because they want to be white. Okay? They're just as anti-black. All of these non-black people are just as white, anti-black, because they all want to be on the same side, and that's the side of white supremacy. Every group. How come FBAs don't talk about reparations anymore? I don't know what you're talking about. We do talk about reparations. I'm not sure why you asked that. I mean, some of the talk of reparations have died down a little bit. We haven't talked about it as much yet because we're on to other things right now. But we do talk about reparations. I'm not sure who you're listening to. You used to hear it a lot, maybe during the election time, because that's the time you really need to home in on reparations. But we haven't stopped talking about reparations. I'm not sure where you're getting that from. But yeah, these anti-black groups, and to be honest, and a lot of people gonna get mad at me for saying this. A lot of people gonna get mad, but I'm gonna say it anyway because it's important and it needs to be said. To be honest, a lot of these non-foundational black American black groups in the African diaspora have the same anti-black vitriol that Hispanics do. A lot of them. I'm just gonna be real. A lot of them. I'm gonna show you. There was this one tweet. Hold on. I didn't think. Dylan, I thank you very much because you made me think to actually show people this. I wasn't even gonna think to show anybody this. I really gotta pull it up. So you guys hold on for 1 second. Because I was really not gonna show anybody this. I totally forgot about it. I'm thinking about something else. And after this, I'm gonna let y'all get to what y'all got to do. I know y'all busy. So am I. I have things to do. Come on. Okay, here we go. It says, oh boy, that's not what I meant to do. What if I put it to you that most African Americans are not as educated as us? As in, we are smarter by a long shot. She's from South Africa. She is from South Africa, talking about that most African Americans are not as educated as her. Hold on. Take that out. We're not as educated as her. Okay, all right. That's the disrespect that we get, because a lot of non-foundational black Americans think that they are better than black Americans. They do. Don't let them tell you, oh, I don't understand where that's coming from. Because when I say my things about, okay, this is how they see us, well, we don't see you like that. We don't call you Yankees and Akatas. We don't do that. We do. But that's not what that word means. We know it. We don't care what the word originated, how it meant. We know how it's used, and that's the most important thing. Y'all think that y'all better, but y'all coming over here to reap from the benefits that we fought for. I will never stop saying that. Okay? Because that's something that all these non-foundational black Americans like to overlook. Y'all can't do it in your own country because you would be there if you could. You can't. In South Africa, you got 10% of white people whooping the 90% of black people ass and taking the resources. How is that possible? Black people are fighting against the white supremacy here as the minority. President Joe Biden is scared because white people are becoming the minority. White people won't be the majority. They're scared, okay? Because they know if we were the majority, shit would be done. It would be a very different situation if we were the minority. They're the minority in South Africa, and yet white people are ruling everything in their own home country. And they're saying that they're more educated. But you don't see that educating benefit in South Africa, though. And this isn't a diss to South Africa because I want them to do better. I genuinely do. But this disrespect gotta stop. okay? We've been putting up with this disrespect, and then the second a black American says something about the disrespect or addresses the disrespect, it's come on. We all need to come together. We all need to come together. Nobody tells them we need to come together, though. Nobody tells non-foundational black Americans how much we need to come together. It's only us that we need to come together. When we address the disrespect that they gave us, then we need to come together. Oh, calm down now, calm down now. That's when somebody hits you and you get back up to push them back or hit them back. Then it's like, come on, violence isn't the answer. But you, when he was beating my ass, you didn't say violence isn't the answer. So when I get up and I want to beat his ass, now violence isn't the answer. Now, no, we're going to stop that. You're going to get the same smoke that you've been given. You cannot come up here and disrespect, just like that disrespectful little Haitian. Just like that disrespectful little Haitian. You can't come up here and disrespect us and then act as if, okay, now when we say something, okay, that's, we can't say that. This dude, somebody says, what's bigger than reparations? Nothing's bigger than reparations. My thing is that you're making it seem like we stopped talking about reparations. I don't know what you're talking about. I see people talk about reparations literally every day. I don't know who you're following, but we talk about reparations, cut the check every single day. I just had a poll talking about what was the biggest form of reparations. People talk about reparations all the time. The point, and we push reparations so reparations will be mainstream. Reparations is now a mainstream issue now. Every politician has to deal with that. Reparations is a mainstream issue. They all know that. I don't understand you saying we're not talking about reparations anymore. Who else was talking about it? To be honest, we the one who started pushing for reparations. A whole bunch of non-foundational black Americans started pushing after they saw us pushing it, because we the leaders and we do that. After they saw us pushing it, but we was always talking about reparations and we still talk about reparations. But I want to thank you guys. Got to get out of here. There's something that very important I want to talk about Thursday, so I will make a video Thursday. But like I said again, I might have to change my schedule around. It says the father of hip hop is Jamaican. The father of hip hop is not Jamaican. Hip hop was evolutionary of music. Music does not. That's not how music works. You don't know the history of music, okay? That's not how music works. Music evolves from one thing to another thing. Hip hop was evolving. The evolution of hip hop was evolving. Now we give credit to, I think his name. We give credit to the Jamaicans, but they did not create hip hop. No, they didn't. Okay, they didn't even have hip hop. But that's kind of cap. Anyway. Thank you guys. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the people who aren't subscribing. Thank you guys for being here. We're on our way. We're going to get to 300 very soon. Very soon. I'm telling you right now, we're at 350 now. We're going to get to 300 very soon. We're going to get to 1,000 by that. We're going to reach our goal. I'm telling you, I'm putting it out there. We're going to reach our goal. Until then, you guys be safe. Look up DJ Kool Herc. DJ Kool Herc, and as much respect I have to DJ Kool Herc, by DJ Kool Herc's own words, he is not the father of hip hop. He never even claimed to be the father of hip hop. You don't even know DJ Kool Herc like that. If you're saying he's the father, he didn't even. He said he's not. He said he's not. So, all right. Good night, everybody. Black first family.